Now, don't let the small size of this hard drive fool you. I've got over 50 hours of footage on this drive. I've got interviews, I've got B-roll, I've got freaking drone shots of a cornfield for some reason. I've got no idea why. And I have absolutely no idea what the documentary is about. If you're a documentary filmmaker, you know this feeling. We call it the editor's depression. It's the moment when you realize that you've captured reality, and reality is actually extremely freaking boring. I'm Gareth Wenzel. I've been teaching media production and filmmaking for over a decade, and I see students treat documentaries like surveillance footage. They just point a camera at interesting people and they hope that a story is going to fall out of the frickin' sky. It doesn't. You don't find the story, you build the story. In this video, I'm going to teach you the engine that drives nonfiction, the goal, the flaw, and the truth. And then I'm going to show you how to apply my score story framework to turn a mountain of random footage into a narrative, into a story that actually makes people feel something. The biggest myth in documentary filmmaking is that you need a script before you shoot. You don't. Life doesn't follow a script. If life followed a script, I'd be a freaking millionaire living on a yacht instead of grading projects on a Saturday. Actually, I'd rather live in a cottage, in the mountains. But that's besides the point. You do, in fact, need a script after you shoot. We call this the paper edit. You are suffering from editor's depression, not because your footage is bad, but because you are procedurally confused. You are trying to edit before you have investigated. You're not a writer yet. You're actually a detective. So before we look at the timeline, we need to find the engine inside your raw footage. Just like in fiction, nonfiction needs three pillars. Pillar one is the goal. What does your subject think that they want? Maybe they want to win the championship. Maybe they want to keep their bakery open. Without a goal, you don't have a protagonist. You just have a person who is kind of standing there. Pillar two is the flaw. What is holding them back? In a documentary, the flaw is often their worldview or their blind spot. Maybe they're stubborn, maybe they are living in the past. This is the ghost that makes them human. And then, pillar three is the truth. This is what they learn or what we learn about them. It's the thematic resolution, the thing that makes the 50 hours of filming worth it. The story is the journey of the subject struggling with their flaw to achieve their goal until the truth is revealed. Let's investigate your footage using the SCORE framework. Grab your coffee, Sherlock Holmes. You're going to need it. S is for setup. The assumption is every documentary starts with a surface level question. Something like, why is this bakery closing? You introduce your subject, you establish their goal, keep the shop open, and their apparent flaw, they refuse to update the menu perhaps. This is usually the easy part. It's the first 5 minutes of your interview. C is for conflict, the reality check. You thought you were making a nice little puff piece, but when you showed up to film, the oven broke, or the owner started yelling at the staff. The world essentially pushes back against the subject's goal. Do not cut this out. Beginners cut the conflict because it feels messy to them. Keep the mess. The mess is the frickin' story. O is for overdrive, the deep dive. In a documentary, overdrive is when the complexity increases. You interview the rival bakery across the street, perhaps. Maybe you find tax documents that show the shop is bankrupt. The pacing of the edit accelerates. We layer conflicting voices. The audience should feel overwhelmed by the situation, just like the subject is. R is for reversal. The discovery. This is the most important beat in nonfiction. This is the moment you, the filmmaker, realized you were making the wrong frickin' film. Maybe in hour 4 of the interview, the tough, stubborn baker starts crying and he admits that he doesn't care about the bread. He only keeps the shop open because it was his dead father's dream. And That's the reversal. The goal was never the bread. The truth is about grief. If you leave this on the cutting room floor, then you've failed. E is for enlightenment. This is the new reality. The shop closes, or maybe it stays open, doesn't really matter. What matters is the truth pillar. The subject has changed, or our understanding of them has changed. And you end with a shot that reflects this new understanding. Now let's look at a practical example. Let's say a student wants to make a doc about van life. Wow, that's so original, I know. The setup is we meet Sarah. Her goal is to travel the country and be free. But her flaw is that she thinks freedom means isolation. The visuals we see are sunsets, yoga on the roof, and maybe perhaps some aesthetic coffee shots, right? Conflict happens when the van breaks down in the middle of frickin' nowhere. It's raining, the roof leaks, she has no money. This Instagram reality clashes with actual reality. Overdrive is when she tries to fix it herself and she fails. She gets lonely, she calls her parents, and essentially she fights with them, and she questions if she made a huge mistake. The reversal comes about when she meets a local mechanic in this tiny little town. He fixes the van for free, just because he's nice, and she realizes, I was looking for freedom in landscapes, but freedom is actually about community. Her goal essentially shifts. Enlightenment is when she keeps traveling, but now she stops to talk to people instead of just kind of taking photos of mountains. And the truth has changed her. It's changed her visual language. Do you see what happened there? We moved from a tour of a van, which is kind of boring, to a story about connection. The footage might be the same, but the structure creates the meaning. So here's your homework. Stop shooting, put the camera down, go and open a project that you've already shot, that messy one you're afraid to look at, and write a paper edit. Identify the goal and identify the flaw of your subject. Then find the reversal, the moment the story changes. If you can't find it, you don't have a documentary. So keep looking, Sherlock. Come back next week when we apply score to narrative podcasts. I'll link that video here if it's already live. I'm Gareth Wenzel, that media prof. Now go find your story in that 50 hours of footage.